because we believe in our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our great flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for being here. First, thanks to our host, John Gavin and United Conference.
Yeah!
Thank you to the Police Department for being with us and helping keep us safe. The Police Department and all our police departments are going to be treated much differently when Bob and Laura are in my Folks, we're all here. Let me ask you a question. Are you ready to elect Republicans on Tuesday? Governor Christie here from New Jersey. He wants the people in New Jersey to hear you. Are you ready? We need new leadership. It's really simple. Ned Lamont has lied through his entire campaign. We know that. Lied about putting sick COVID people in nursing homes. He lied about gender identification in our schools to the point where our State Department took down gender identity curriculum just the other day.
Yes.
And when he couldn't find PPPs, when he couldn't find masks, when he couldn't find protective gear, who did? Bob! And you know what Bob did? You know what Bob did? He didn't care if you were a Democrat or Republican elected official. He called you and said, I need your help getting these out. And to their credit, our Democrat friends, our Republican friends showed up and helped Bob. That's what we need in Hartford. We need a leader who can work across the aisle. We need a leader who can get things done. We need a leader who puts party politics aside and worries about the people of the state of Connecticut. That's what we need. That's what we're going to get. That's what we're going to get when we elect my friend Dominic Rapini as Secretary of State. Barry Lara is the next treasurer. He won't Mary Fay is our next comptroller. Attorney General. Laura is our next United States Senator. My friend Vince Candelora is here. Vin, you're getting a whole bunch more Republicans in your caucus, as is Kevin Kelly and is in the Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our year. And it's our year because of you. There it's coming, the red wave. It's our year because of you. Bob and Laura and all our candidates, man, they're working hard, but they can't do it by themselves. They need all of you. This is what I've asked people over the last number of weeks. I'm going to ask all of you, 25 people. I need you to talk to 25 people over the next 3 days. People you don't normally talk to about politics, and tell them why we need Bob and Laura, why we need Dom and Harry, Mary Fay and Jessica, and Leora. It's your job to do that, because as hard as they're going to work, they can't talk to as many people as you can. We can get this done. I'm so happy and proud to have former Governor Christie with us, a great friend of the Connecticut Republican Party. Folks, we are fired up, because I'm tired of Ned Lamont's bullshit. I'm tired of the Democrats' bullshit. I'm tired of their lies. I'm tired of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Ned Lamont and Dick Blumenthal tanking our economy. Time to change. Folks, you have a choice. We all have a choice. We can change the people making the decisions. We can put Bob and Laura there, Dom and Harry and Mary Fay and Jessica, and change what's happening, or we can continue to embody the definition of insanity, elect Ned Lamont and those people, and think something's going to change when it's not. It's going to get worse. So folks, 25 people, that's your homework for the next 3 days, 25 people. You do that, we can't help but win. You want to? Jake, I'm up for 125, Jake, go for it. I know you and Francine can do that like that. So ladies and gentlemen, I have the great honor to introduce a dear friend of mine, a lady who has served not only her constituents in Fairfield and Trumbull tremendously well over the last 8 years, with the people of the state of Connecticut, who from the legislature, along with her friend Henry Martin, were the two legislators who traveled this state tirelessly in 2019 to kill Ned Lamont's coal. Oh, by the way, if you haven't heard, the DOT commissioner is talking about bringing back. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next Lieutenant Governor of the state of Connecticut, my friend Laura Devlin.
Lieutenant Governor, and I could not be more proud than have been asked and chosen by Bob Stefanowski, who is going to be a fantastic governor. Listen, Bob and I have been out across this state many days on a bus together, and we have traveled this state from corner to corner, from shoreline, every place in between. And what we hear, quite frankly, not only Republicans, unaffiliated voters, Democrat voters, all demographics, it is time for a change. Whether it is the crushing cost of living in Connecticut, people having to choose between filling their oil tanks, looking at 40% increases in electricity, rolling blackouts this winter, the challenge to buy groceries in the grocery store. I don't know what has happened to the state of Connecticut, but we are going to bring it back. This is our time. We have a fabulous slate of candidates. Can you imagine a treasurer who actually has financial experience? That would be a first. He's the guy. Don Rapini for Secretary of State, phenomenal. Mary Kay is our comptroller. Jessica Cordes, and I gotta tell you, we've got Vin Candelora here, who's my leader in the House. There is nobody who fights harder for the state of Connecticut. We need your support up and down this ballot. Senator Ciccarelli is here, does such a great job representing Wallingford. Listen, this is a once-in-a-generational opportunity to change our state. Every single vote matters. You have got to make sure not only you get out to vote, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your children, get them out. This is our one shot. So let's do it. Now listen, I have the incredible privilege to introduce our next governor, but I want you to welcome him up here, right? So let's go. Bob! 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 Bob!
Unbelievable. So I was up all night last night putting this speech together. You know what I'm going to do with it? Anybody see the debate this week? Who do you think won that debate? We kicked his ass. Anybody in this room think it's less expensive than it was 4 years ago? No. Anybody in this room think it's safer than it was 4 years ago? No. Anybody in this room think you've got more control over how you raise your kids and what they're taught in school than you had 4 years ago. So who's going to win this election? We got moms for Bob, we got dads for Bob, we got kids for Bob. We got Governor Christie for Bob. What else can we have? So listen, this campaign is coming to a close. The debates are over. We kicked his ass about 5 times. The TV commercials are cut. The policy is in the website. All that's left is to get this vote out and win this election. I'm going to tell one quick story. We were up at the Capitol. It was after the Puerto Rico Day Parade in the Capitol. And we were on the lawn. And I was having a slushie. I hate to admit it. I was having a slushie. And walking down the hill is this guy. He looked a little haggard. 2 beautiful girls next to him. Beautiful dresses. Clean hair, perfectly combed. And he walked up to me. And my security guards got nervous, right? They're starting to get in the way. They're like, what's going on here? And I knelt down to the girls and I said, do you want to go get a slushie? And they said yes, and we walked over to the slushie. And of course, I didn't have any money, so I had to borrow $10 from Pat Sasser. And I said, what's... And Pat doesn't even have any money anyway. Starting Wednesday. So I knelt down and I said to the girls, what size do you want? They said large. I said, what flavor do you want? They said cherry. And I handed it to them perfectly, just really polite girls. Thank you so much, Mr. Stefanowski. We really appreciate it. And as we were walking back to her dad, who I was a little bit afraid to talk about, they leant over to me. They said, this was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They said, can we get one for our dad because we don't think he's eating today? I'll tell you, politics is tough. The attack ads are tough. But this is what we need to win this election for. These 2 little girls and their dad who hadn't eaten until 2 o'clock. We need to win this election. I'm going to end with 3 things. I need you to remember these 3 things. Number 1, ignore these stupid polls. I'm telling you, we used John McLaughlin, our pollster, last time around. The day before the election, 2018, he says, Bob, I hate to tell you this, you're going to lose by 2 points. He's the only pollster in the world that predicted Donald Trump was going to win. We lost by 2.5 points. This race is a statistical tie right now going into the last 2 days. I need you to remember that. Number 2, I need you to remember that we can win in Connecticut. Not we can, we will win in Connecticut. And the only way we do it is by believing we can win. What a novel concept. We have not had a confluence of events like this in my lifetime. President Joe Biden is the gift that keeps giving for Republicans. And I'm going to leave you with number 3 before I have Governor Christie come up, hopefully be president someday. We can only hope. I need you to get people out. A lot of people hang out on Twitter, they hang out on Facebook, they call into radio shows, those are all fine. For that guy on the green in the Capitol with his 2 daughters, I really, Amy, my kids, my campaign staff, I got the best campaign staff in the history. Cleveland, I can tell you we have poured our heart and our soul into this campaign for a full year now. I need you to get out, 15 people, 20 people, 25 people this weekend to come out and vote on Tuesday. We do that, we win this election, we turn the state of Connecticut around, and we finally drive change. So with that, I'm going to introduce a terrific person. You know, I got to say one thing, Governor Christie. We had a fundraiser back in Greenwich, and I didn't know Governor Christie very well, but this guy, he's got it. He's got the intelligence, he's got the work ethic, he's got the speech capability that I wish I had half of, Governor. So let me introduce the former governor of the great state of New Jersey, Christie.
Tell you, I haven't seen this excited a group at a concrete place in a long time. I mean, concrete's great. It's usually not that exciting, but it's exciting here today, isn't it? I want to thank all of you for being here on a Saturday. I want to thank all the members of Bob's team and his ticket. I wish them all the very, very best as we head into Tuesday. And I want you to remember a few things. I'm here because of one of the things that Bob said. You know, Connecticut has to believe that you're going to win on Tuesday. And I know sometimes it's hard in these blue states, believe me. But I want to bring you back. I want to bring you back to 2009 when I was running against John Corzine, the former CEO of Goldman Sachs, who was outspending me 3-1 in a state where there was 1 million more Democrats than Republicans. And every pundit, Barack Obama had won our state the year before by 18 points. He came into New Jersey 3 times, including twice on the last weekend of the race, and there was nobody, including my wife, who thought I was going to win on Tuesday. We woke up Tuesday morning, and it was 13 years ago yesterday, and she looked at me and she said, "You did the best you could. We're proud of you, and we'll figure out what to do next." Well, let me tell you what we did next. We changed New Jersey because we won, and Bob is going to change Connecticut. And look, the way these things work is not with endorsements from me. The way these things work is with endorsements from you. Now, I'm preaching to converted here today. If you're standing with us here on Saturday morning with your Bob signs and your Bob shirts, you're on the team. But let me tell you something. As proud as I am of all of you for coming out here this morning, as great a feeling as it was to be sitting in traffic to get to a Republican rally in Connecticut. Your job is only 1/3 done. Your job is only 1/3 done. Now I want you, and this maybe is not the greatest hygiene in the world, but I want you wearing these shirts for the next 3 days. I want everywhere you go to have these shirts and have those signs and everything you can have that have Bob and Laura's name on it. And I want you to be wearing them and carrying them everywhere you go. You know, whether it's to the supermarket or to the dry cleaners, whether it's to the soccer field or the football field where your kids are going to be playing, whether it's the church parking lot tomorrow, no matter where it is. Because when people see that in the last 3 days of a race, they're going to ask you, "So where'd you get that? Why do you have that?" And you're going to be able to say to them, and you better say to them, "I know him. I've looked him in the eye. I know what a good man he is. I'm with him. I'm voting for him. And I'm asking you to please vote for him too." That, ladies and gentlemen, is the most powerful political endorsement in America, and you can give it starting when you walk out this door today. And I'm willing to guarantee you that after 1 year with Bob Stefanowski as your governor, you won't recognize Connecticut. You won't recognize it. Let me tell you why. It has been a long time since Connecticut has had a competent executive as governor. Bob Stefanowski knows how to run this state. It's been a long time since you've had somebody in the governor's chair who didn't lick their finger and stick it in the air to try to decide how things should go. Bob Stefanowski is going to decide it by what's in his heart and his head, but most importantly, because for the last years, he has traveled this state, looked all of you in the eye, heard your concerns, your anxieties, your worries about the future. He's going to bring every one of those stories, including the one he just told, about those two beautiful little girls in Hartford, to the governor's chair in Connecticut, and that's the way he's going to make decisions, and that's why you're going to retire Ned Lamont on Tuesday. So let me tell you, it's not going to happen just through pretty words. Ned Lamont's a professional politician. He's been running as long as I can remember. He's been a Democrat. He's been an independent. He's been every kind of different thing you can think of. Except he hadn't been honest. See, in the end, when you sit in the governor's chair, I can tell you you're going to face crises that you never could have anticipated. Last weekend, a week ago today, was the 10-year anniversary of Hurricane Sandy. And I can tell you that no matter what I learned as a prosecutor, no matter what I learned in any other aspect of my life, it didn't prepare you for losing 346,000 homes in 24 hours. And to travel around the state that you were born and raised and see the anger and the sadness and the loss that people experienced. And the only thing that got our state through it was because I told people the truth right from the very beginning about how we could recover and what it was going to take for us to work together. When COVID came, Ned Lamont didn't tell you the truth. When COVID came, he locked you down. He hurt every child by keeping them out of school and set them behind. He's killed small businesses all across Connecticut that families had spent decades building, and all because he had to follow the Democratic orthodoxy out of Washington, D.C. It is time to return honesty to Hartford and get incompetence the hell out. I guarantee I didn't get every question right in my 8 years, and when Bob's there, he won't get every question right either, but I'll tell you one thing I know for sure. He will always tell you what he believes. And he'll walk into that office every day and give you the hardest, most honest, smart effort that any governor in this country can give. And I will tell you, look at his effort in this campaign. I have been to 10 states in the last 14 days, and I will tell you, there's not a candidate in this country who's working harder than Bob Stefanowski's working. He's out working Ned Lamont. He's out thinking Ned Lamont. And on Tuesday, you're going to vote Ned Lamont out. Each and every day, over the next 3 days, you're going to have those opportunities that Laura talked about and that Bob talked about. You have those opportunities to make a difference. I don't want to hear anybody in the next 3 days being negative. I don't want to hear anybody talking about anything that's in the rearview mirror. Connecticut's future is through the windshield. Connecticut's future is in front of us. If we choose to grasp it in our own hands and direct it. All of you are here because you love this state. And you want your children to have the same kind of opportunities you've had. That's not going to happen by accident, everybody. It's not going to happen by luck. You want to change Hartford? Do you want to change Hartford?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one way to change Hartford. You got to change governors, baby. Change governors on Tuesday. Now, one last thing before I send you out there to get to work. One last thing. Now, I've come here today. You are my final campaign stop. Connecticut's my 10th state in the last 14 days, and you're my last stop. And so I come here this morning a little bit tired, but I think you could say in a very pleasant mood, right? Well, let me just remind you one thing. You don't want me coming back on Wednesday in a bad mood. See, because people in other parts of the country don't understand this. But if I've come to you and nicely asked you to go out here and get this baby over the finish line for Bob and for Laura, and you've all nodded and cheered and said you're gonna do it, and then I find out you haven't, I'm coming back, and I ain't coming back alone. I'm gonna be coming back looking to hunt you people down. And when I do, it's not gonna be pretty or pleasant. We're not gonna have that kind of day on Wednesday. Here's the next time I wanna come to Connecticut. I wanna come to Connecticut the next time in January. I wanna come to Connecticut in January of 2023. I want to go to the state capitol in Hartford, and I want to watch your friend, my friend, and Connecticut's friend, Bob Stefanowski, take the oath of office as governor. You do your part, he'll do his part. He's going to win. He'll get elected on Tuesday. Go out and get him. I love you all very much. Let's go get Bob elected.